Business Link acknowledges and respects that we're on traditional land, meeting grounds, territories, gathering places, and traveling routes of Treaty 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the lands of those who have come before us, reside here now, and in the future. Running a business today often means finding creative ways to preserve cash flow and attract customers. And one often overlooked but powerful strategy is barter, a modern approach that allows entrepreneurs to trade products and services while expanding their reach and strengthening community connections. Today's session will help you understand how modern trade exchanges like Exmerce make bartering easy, efficient, and rewarding through a unique system of trade credits and Exmerce dollars. I'm Matt Hill, the Director of Operations at Business Link, and we would like to definitely welcome you and welcome Nelson. Nelson Lim's the founder and CEO of Exmerce Barter Incorporated, and he is today's speaker. Nelson started in 2005, and since then it's become Alberta's largest trade exchange, connecting over 500 businesses across Calgary, Edmonton, through a barter-based economy. He's passionate about helping entrepreneurs grow sustainably by leveraging trade, collaboration, and community. Nelson, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate the kind introduction. So before we get started, just want to give a big shout out to Business Link for this opportunity. And second, more importantly, I want to thank all of you as entrepreneurs tuning into my presentation today. I believe it's one of the best kept secrets out there. And what's important to me as a constant is two things: my love for building community and helping others. So I'm hopeful with today's presentation, I'm able to help educate you in terms of how you can leverage barter into your business as an alternative sales and marketing tool to help you become more successful. So I'm just going to jump right into the presentation here. Just bear with me. I'm just going to share my screen.
Perfect. Thanks, Nelson.
Okay, so can everybody see that?
I think we'll be able to see it any second. It just says it's started screen sharing, so I'm sure there you go.
Okay, perfect. So thank you again for tuning into today's presentation. Spend smarter, think barter, increase your sales, cash flow, and profit. So who is Exmerce? So we are an Alberta-based retail business trade exchange. So retail just means we work with small, medium-sized businesses. As Matt had mentioned, the company was founded in 2005. Today, we represent a network of 500 plus members in both Calgary and Edmonton. We actually launched our services in the Edmonton area this past year. Now, some of the clients we represent through Exmerce, they range from solopreneurs to mid-sized to your large enterprise companies. So we work with companies like Rogers Sports and Media, Global Fest, Swiss Chalet, Gym VMT, Springbank Links Golf Course. So whatever is out there in the cash world, we essentially hope to bring to the Exmerce network. Now, the strength of our community really lies in our partnerships with organizations that support the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we are partnered up with organizations like ATB Financial, Better Business Bureau, YW Calgary, Momentum, BNI, BX. You may have heard of some of these organizations. Now, for many of you, you may have heard of barter. And when most people think of barter, they naturally think of direct one-to-one trades. So in a business application, let's say consulting services in exchange for printing services. Now, what we've done through Exmerce is we've modernized the way businesses barter by introducing a virtual community currency that we call Exmerce Dollars. So whatever you as a business would normally charge out there in the cash world, that's what you would charge in Exmerce Dollars. Now, the growth of the barter industry can be attributed to a number of things. Now, what a lot of business owners aren't aware of is the federal government, they actually passed a law back in 82 recognizing barter exchanges as third-party record keepers. So they passed what was called the Barter Income Tax Act. So when you participate through a barter exchange, any sales that gets transacted through a barter exchange, you still have to report it to the government. Now, anything you buy on barter for your business, you want to keep the receipt because you can actually write that off as a regular business expense. During economic downturns, or even with the current economic state, a lot of businesses turn to barter because it's an opportunity for businesses to reach out to new customers and save cash. Advances in technology have helped grow the barter industry. There are 600 barter companies worldwide, 65 in Canada. Majority of them are in Eastern Canada, but it's growing here in the West. This slide here just tells you some Fortune 100 companies have actually incorporated barter into their companies. So for example, if we look at Pepsi, they traded syrup and technology for Russian vodka. So it just tells and shows you that barter is not just for small businesses, but larger corporations as well. Now, you might be thinking, okay, if I were to participate through a barter exchange, what are the benefits and how does it work? So when you participate through a barter exchange like Exmerce, there's numerous advantages. So multi-directional trading, so you can literally trade with anyone through the Exmerce community, increased flexibility. There's opportunities for networking and exposure. So our company, for example, we host 10 events throughout the year. We actually rotate between a couple of main events. We have a mastermind event, a speed networking event, a entrepreneurs industry social, and a fireside experts. All of these events are designed to support entrepreneurs like yourself. Complete record keeping. So anytime you transact through a barter exchange, you'll receive an email confirmation of that transaction, whether it's a buy or sell transaction. And we also do issue you a monthly statement. So think of the monthly statement as almost like your bank statement. So it just records all of your buy and sell transactions in which you can then provide to your bookkeeper or accountant. And last is confidence. So again, when you participate through a barter exchange, we utilize a virtual community currency that we call Exmerce Dollars. So again, whatever you as a business would normally charge out there in the cash world, that is now what you would charge in Exmerce Dollars. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, this sounds great and all, but if I were to participate through a barter exchange, what's the benefit? Why would I want to accept payment in Exmerce? So below or on this slide, it just lists numerous benefits. So number one, it's a way for you to increase your sales. So we essentially help you to find new customers through the Exmerce network. Improve profitability. So one way in doing that is to lower your overhead expenses. So instead of you spending cash on things like accounting, bookkeeping services, printing, advertising, office space, it could be VoIP, internet services, you can now trade your products and services to get those things you normally would have paid cash for. For retailers, it's a way for you to move your surplus inventory. For any service-based companies, it's a way for you to fill your downtimes. So essentially, we help to push new business your way to help you operate at capacity. It's a way for companies to increase cash flow and expand customer base. Now, being that you are the business owner operator of your company, you don't have to purchase everything on barter for just the business. You can also purchase things personally on the buy side as well. So maybe things around the home, furnace, duct cleaning, electrical, could be plumbing services, auto maintenance services. It could be health perks from dental, massage, physio. Maybe you want flowers. Maybe you want to go out to the restaurant. So our job as a barter exchange is really to work with you to help you identify Where is it in your business or personal life? Where are you spending cash? And how do we leverage barter to now offset some of those cash expenses? So the way in which we can help increase sales through a barter exchange and how we help you to find new customers is we promote you in a couple of different ways. So we promote you through our online directory, through social media. We have an e-newsletter that gets sent out twice during the course of the week. We host regular networking functions. But the biggest thing that any business can take advantage of when they participate through a barter exchange is the trade brokering service. So essentially what happens here is a broker is assigned to your account to, again, help you buy and sell. So the more we know about your business, the better we're able to help promote your offerings to our members. And then the more we know where you're spending cash, the better we can help make recommendations on how to help you save cash. Now, one of the great things about participation through a barter exchange, and when you do work with an Exmerce member, is getting word of mouth cash referrals. So when you work with an Exmerce member, and if they're happy, they'll probably tell their non-bartering friends about you, which will lead to word of mouth cash referrals. So in the end, we pretty much act as your external sales force. So again, our job is to help promote your business to the 500 plus members. That's part of our network. This slide here just explains how does it work. So let's say, for example, you want to purchase advertising. And let's say the cost of the advertising is $1,000. So what you would do is simply trade $1,000 worth of your products or services to get the advertising. So what happens in the end is you're able to get the advertisement. $1,000 cash is still in your pocket, because it naturally didn't cost you $1,000 cash to produce. So every time you use the barter system, you will save yourself cash. In terms of authorizations, how do we process transactions? It's very seamless. There's essentially three different ways to process a transaction. So when you're transacting with an Exmerce member and you want to get paid in Exmerce dollars, you can call us and we can post the transaction. You can email us the invoice details, and again, we post the transaction, or you can simply log into your online account to post the transaction and get credited for the Exmerce dollars. Now, in terms of taxes, so what does Revenue Canada think about barter and taxes? So as previously mentioned, the federal government passed what was called the Barter Income Tax Act back in '82. So they consider your barter income the same as cash income. So essentially, one Exmerce dollar is equivalent to one Canadian cash dollar. Now, anything you buy on barter, again, for your business, you want to be sure to keep the receipt, and you can write that off as a regular business expense. Personal expenses, unfortunately, you can't do anything about that. Now, this here is just a quote from CA Magazine, just saying when you participate through a barter exchange, you don't have to separate your revenue and expense accounts because, again, at the end of the day, Revenue Canada treats it dollar for dollar. So let's say, for example, you participate through a barter exchange. Let's say you generate $10,000 in Exmerce sales and you do $100,000 in cash sales. At the end of the year, you would simply combine the two. You would still have to pay taxes on the total amount. Now, with respect to GST, if you are charging GST, GST is also payable in Exmerce dollars. Now, when you purchase products and services for your business, you want to be sure, again, to keep the receipt because you can claim back the GST portion as an input tax credit. So no different than as if we're in the cash world. Now, what's neat about the barter program as well is we work with a number of charities. So I've listed some of the charities that we work with: the Kidney Foundation, Variety, Stardale's Women's Group, Canadian Cancer, Make-A-Wish. So any barter donation, so if you were to donate your Exmerce dollars to one of these charities, they'll actually issue you a charitable tax receipt for the Exmerce dollars donated. So It just presents an opportunity to help support a charitable cause, but at the same time, Revenue Canada, they recognize Exmerce Dollars as a charitable donation. Now, through a barter exchange, we also have what's called reciprocal partnerships. So we are partnered up with other barter exchanges similar to Exmerce in other cities across Canada. We actually have a couple of international partners. There's a company called iBarter. So in Italy, so let's say, for example, you're banking up your dollars in Calgary or Edmonton, and you're looking to travel to Italy. We can help with such things like accommodations, food and beverage. We actually helped one of our dental clinic owners get accommodations in Italy. Now, in terms of our barter policies, when you're participating through a barter exchange, everything is payable on 100% Exmerce. Now, the only exceptions are for contractors, landscapers, and auto mechanics. So for those industries specifically, the labor portion, that's payable on 100% Exmerce or barter, but any materials, parts, supplies, that's paid in cash by the Exmerce member. We do have some other exclusions as well. For example, for legal services, any sort of disbursements, that would be payable in cash. But again, the legal service or the labor, that would be payable on 100% Exmerce. If you're into, let's say, website design and you're looking for photos, the photos would be excluded. Let's say you needed to purchase photos through iStock, or let's say Google AdWords management, like the setup of the Google AdWords management would be payable on 100% Exmerce, but the advertising itself on Facebook, for example, would be paid in cash. Now, what's very, very important to us is always maintaining the integrity of our community. So we want to ensure that every business that participate is always on a level playing field. So we ask our members to actually help police our community and to report any sort of barter violations. So this would include such things like price inflation, any sort of cash trade blends that's not authorized by Exmerce, or any sort of poor product service delivery, because at the end of the day, the integrity above all else is important to us, and we want to ensure that everybody is on a level playing field. So we do have a 3-strike policy. Once you're struck out, unfortunately, we do remove you from the barter exchange. So how can you make the most out of your membership? So when considering participation through a barter exchange, there's really 2 things to consider. So number 1 is, can the barter exchange drive you new business? So it ultimately depends on, do we have demand for your product or service? But then on the flip side is, when I bank the dollars and I accept payment in Exmerce, what can I buy that's going to create value for my business or for me personally? Because we never want to put you in a position where it's sell, 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 and you're like, geez, you know what? I've just banked, 10, 20,000 Exmerce dollars, but I got nowhere to spend it. So it's always important to work with your broker so that we know how we can help you reduce your cash expenses. So what we do for our clients is we do an audit of your expenses. So again, it's really about identifying, where's it in your business or personal life, where are you spending cash, and how do you leverage barter to now offset some of those cash expenses. This here is just a simple case study of one of our clients, Katie Professional. They're an accounting firm here in Calgary. They probably employ, I believe, like 20 plus employees. And so, for example, in the last 3 months, they have spent $17,000 on barter. Some of the things that they purchased on barter to help reduce their cash expenses are things like co-working space membership, marketing strategy, graphic design, courier services, commercial cleaning, office chairs, event photography. And then on the personal side, being that it's the business owner. They've used things personally from restaurant dining, interior design for their home, health services, massage, chiro, and dental, and furnace and duct cleaning and plumbing services. But like I shared, when considering participation through a barter exchange and you're banking up your dollars, what's most important is knowing how can I leverage barter to offset some of those cash expenses. And so if there's interest in exploring Exmerce, I'm happy to share our directory, a guest directory, for you to browse so that you can confidently know if there are areas that you can spend your barter. And that is pretty much the end of the presentation. Now, I did want to, if I were to, sum up, what Exmerce or what a barter exchange can do for you as a business, it's really three simple things. So number one, it's a way for you to find new customers. So we help to promote your business to the 500 plus members that's part of our network. Number two, it's a way for you to save your cash. So again, it's all about you trying to identify where is it in your business or personal life, where are you spending cash, and how do you leverage barter to now offset some of those cash expenses. And the last point is turning any sort of downtime to profit. So the times when you aren't as busy, through Exmerce, we push and drive new business your way. Now, with that being said, you are always, always, always in control of how many customers you work with through Exmerce. So if you say, you know what, I can only take on one or two customers on a consistent basis, that's absolutely fine, because barter is to work complementary to your cash business. We understand cash is king. We need cash to survive, but barter is to work complementary to your business during the times when things are slow, or you're looking to reach out to more customers, or you're looking for ways to save your cash. And as I previously mentioned before, again, I can't stress it enough. When you consider participation through a barter exchange, ultimately, it's really two things to look at. Number one is, what is the barter exchange doing to help drive new business my way? And then two, on the flip side, is when I bank the dollars in my account, how do I spend it again? That's going to help me save cash for my business or for me personally. So that pretty much wraps up my presentation. I'm happy to address any sort of questions or from the audience today.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much, Nelson. Yeah, we do have questions, and I'm sure there'll be more come in here for sure. The first is a pretty simple one. Where is Barter head office located?
Yes. So our head office is in Calgary. So if you guys are familiar with Calgary, we're just off McLeod Trail.
Perfect. Oh yeah, that definitely locates you. Thanks. That was an easy question to start. So with the rest might not be this easy. The second one here from Nasira says, "How do I pay for the services I need to purchase through your company?"
How do I pay? So yeah, great question. So when you participate through a barter exchange, our job immediately is to try and help drive new sales your way. So again, you let us know what we can promote to the Exmerce community. And as soon as we push that out to the Exmerce network, the goal is to help generate a sale for you on barter. So if there's a member interested in your services, they would pay you in Exmerce dollars. You now have Exmerce dollars to now spend with any one of the 500 plus members. Now, what we do as an organization as well is we can extend a line of credit for businesses. It's an interest-free line of credit of $500 to start. So if you participate through Exmerce, and let's say there is something you want to buy immediately, let's say it's printing for business cards, and you haven't generated a sale, we can extend an interest-free line of credit in Exmerce dollars. Now, the guarantee, like what we ask is you essentially put the equivalent back of your products or services to pay for that line of credit. So hopefully I answered your question there.
Yeah, no, that was pretty clear. And we got some that I think are in a similar vein, but I'll ask them because I'm sure there's always kind of nuance there. Um, so Barb asks, this, she says, this presentation is from the purchaser's perspective. I'd be interested in hearing how this works for the one providing the services. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if that was my perception. Like I feel it's from both sides, but yeah.
So from the sale perspective, in terms of how we promote our members, so what we do as an organization to promote businesses that join a barter exchange is we do a number of things. So number one, we promote you in our online directory. We promote you through our social media feeds. We promote you in our e-newsletters. So you send us the information, then we push that out to the community. We host regular networking functions, and this by far is probably the best way to connect with other local business owners through the Exmerce network and outside of the Exmerce network. Because when we host our events, we generally partner up with other organizations, again, that support the entrepreneurial ecosystem. And typically, in working with our partners, they will invite their network to our event. So, as you can imagine, it just creates a greater opportunity for businesses to connect, to sell their services, or for collaboration. And the last thing is the trade brokering service. So again, when you participate through Exmerce, it is our job to work with you to identify, again, uh, where we can help you spend your dollars, but again, how we can help sell your services. So when we connect with our clients, we'll ask, such things like, who's your ideal customer, or is there an industry that typically works best for you? Because again, I mean, we have great relationships with a lot of our clients, and so we can help to make those introductions or to help you find those customers. So hopefully I addressed the question on the sell side, like how do we help sell a company's offerings through a barter exchange?
That's perfect. Yeah. Barb asks a follow-up question. She says, so local means Calgary. I'm in Barhead. So presumably I don't need to be in Calgary or even Edmonton. Like, could I be further afield and st if my service is still
Right. No, that's a great question. I mean, yes, you can be virtual, but I mean, not in Calgary, Edmonton, but, the one thing I would caution is, for a barter exchange to work for a business, it's really dependent on what I can buy. So, yes, we might be able to help sell your services, but the only services that you can maybe take advantage of, in Calgary, Edmonton, are maybe some of the virtual services, or if you were to actually come into Calgary. But we are predominantly Calgary and growing our community in Edmonton.
okay. But if I'm I don't know, a graphic designer in Medicine Hat,
Yep.
and it presumably because lots of that can be done kind of remotely, we're still good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep, absolutely. Any sort of, virtual services. So I find within the Exmerce network, we always have demand for, any sort of digital marketing services from social media management, SEO, it could be graphic design. If you're an accountant, bookkeeper that can do things virtually, those are great. But again, I always caution it's, for a barter exchange to work, it's again, two things. Can we push and drive new business your way? So let's say, yes, we can do that successfully. But two, on the flip side is when I bank the dollars, how do I spend it? So, if you're not located in the Calgary or Edmonton area, on the buy side, what I would recommend are other virtual services. Maybe you're looking to do a telemarketing campaign for cold calling. Maybe you're looking to do LinkedIn lead generation. Maybe you're looking for advertising. Those are areas where we could potentially help with if you're not directly located in the Calgary or Edmonton area.
That makes sense. Yeah, for sure. So like just at its simplest, and let me I just kind of think of an example here. So I'm a tree care business, tree surgeon, and kind of around my regular season, I have a bit of a shoulder season where I'm perfectly able to provide my service, but I have some I have some unmet capacity. I need some business cards printed, or my SEO on my website's terrible. So I would essentially offer that tree surgery service to, yeah, I mean, to in return, hoping to maybe get some SEO for my website.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the power of barter. So one of the benefits is you can turn on and off how much you do on barter. So that's just exactly it. So we understand there are times in your business where you're absolutely busy. So for a tree service company, we understand probably, spring, summer starts to get really busy. So you are not obligated to take on business during that time. I mean, if you have extra capacity,
Yeah.
you can certainly make that available on barter. But again, barter is to be used during the times when things are slow or you're trying to, find new customers. So again, like I shared, you are always, 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 always in control in terms of how much capacity you make available or when, how many customers you work with. But again, the important thing is everything is payable on 100% Exmerce. So yes,
Hmm.
during your downtime for the tree service, like let's say arborist service, um, we help to sell your service. A member pays you in Exmerce dollars. You bank the Exmerce dollars, and now you can use it for things like business card printing, digital marketing services. So again, us working with you to identify where is it in your business, where are you spending cash, and how you leverage barter. Because at the end of the day, one of the
Hmm.
things to look at is think of Exmerce as additional sales on top of your existing cash business.
Yeah.
So the additional sales that you generate through Exmerce, the barter sales, the key is putting it back towards things that you normally would have spent cash on
Yeah.
to help save your cash, or you want to put it back towards marketing advertising activities that's going to help increase the opportunity for cash business. So again, if we're referencing the tree business, put
Mhm.
it back towards community newsletters, advertisement, or I'm just trying to think of applicable things, through Exmerce.
Yeah.
We work with a newspaper publication out in Chestermere, the Chestermere Anchor. There's Livewire Calgary, where you can purchase digital advertisement or radio advertisement. If any of you are a member of the Better Business Bureau, being that the BBB is a partner and member of Exmerce, you can actually purchase like online advertisements with the BBB in their newsletter. So lots of different ways to support businesses.
Wow, you have some big kind of high profile clients and customers there. That's really interesting. It always comes down to the dollars, though. The question that's been asked most commonly here, Nelson, is there a monthly membership fee, and can the membership fee be paid with Xmas? How much does Xmas cost me?
Yeah, for sure. So our fees are, quite nominal. We keep it really simple. It's $35 per month. It is a cash fee, plus 8% buy, 8% sell as a cash transaction fee. So this is really how we would stay in business. So for example, if we help to sell, let's say $1,000 worth of your services, the fee to Exmerce would be $80 paid in cash. So it's like a broker commission fee in sourcing new leads to your business, facilitating any sort of trades on your behalf. Now, with Exmerce, there is absolutely no contract with us whatsoever. Month to month basis, if you feel the program's not working out for you, just give us 10 days notice. Any sort of trade that you have left in your account, you can spend as is. But again, it's in our best interest to ensure that you don't just stay with us for the short term, but the longevity of our business and yours. And again, you are always, always, always in control of the influx of customers. So, like I shared, you can turn it on during times when things are slow. You can turn it off. We call it standby. So, if you're at capacity and don't want to take on any more clients on Barter, we just put you on a standby status, and you can change the status, just at your convenience.
Yeah, fascinating. I'm going to do some kind of quick fire questions. Can This is kind of about eligibility criteria, I suppose. Like, can someone be like self-employed or just a declared trade name, or do they have to be incorporated to be members of the platform?
You know what? It's solopreneurs, mid-size, large enterprise. So as long as you run a business, we are okay. Now, again, what's important to us is, maintaining the integrity of the exchange. And then also on the flip side of things, we don't just sign people up for the sake of, hey, we want you to be part of the barter exchange. We want to make sure it's a good fit. So we do qualify the businesses that look to participate, and we'll tell you upfront whether or not there's demand or not, because we don't want to be in a position where we say, hey, yeah, barter's going to work for you, and you participate and there's just no activity or sales. So we do qualify
Okay.
the businesses that do consider participation.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I was thinking, yeah, if I go and buy a chainsaw at a garage sale and start my tree care business tomorrow, someone
Yeah.
wants to be protected against that. So that's pretty good. Thank you for that. We have a comment on. Can you please repeat the information about the line of credit for $500?
Oh, yes. So when you participate as a member, so assuming there's demand, you're a good fit, we start new members off with a interest-free line of credit of 500 Exmerce dollars. So if, for example, so obviously when you participate through Exmerce, our first job or priority is to help drive new sales for you. So that way you don't have to utilize your line of credit. So the line of credit is no different than as if we're in the cash roll, like through a bank. If you use your line of credit, it's minus and you pay it back over time. So with Exmerce, let's say, for example, you start today and you're like, I need business cards. I haven't sold anything, but I want to access my line of credit. So you could use your line of credit to pay for the printing of business cards. So let's say the cost of business card printing is 200 Exmerce dollars. So your line of credit would be now minus 200. So again, our job is to drive new sales to you so that you can pay back your line of credit. So it's either zero and then your account goes positive. So hopefully I addressed that question there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense for sure. This is a few times kind of in different versions this question comes. So I'll put the two together. So the first person asks, do you have any businesses interested in purchasing hospitality services? And then something a little bit more general here is, which types and sizes of business tend to be most successful on the platform?
Right, for sure. Okay, so to address the first question, do we have demand for organizations providing like hospitality? At this point in time, we only work with like Airbnb, like rental, like owners that rent out their properties. We have been in discussions with a few hotels, so there could be an opportunity. I mean, at the end of the day, we're always looking to diversify the range of products and services we offer to our members, and then to, I guess, address the second question, the ideal types of business, I would say businesses that are in that growth mode, that they're looking for more customers. So any business, I find businesses that are probably 2, 3 years old, where they're starting to get a consistent influx of customers, and they're at the point where they still want more customers, but they're growing, and they're really looking for ways to offset their cash expenses or to outsource things. So instead of me as a solopreneur trying to do social media management, trying to make the cold calls, trying to do the accounting and bookkeeping, it's trying to outsource to these services to help you scale and grow. So hopefully I addressed that question
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
you did. Yeah, yeah. And thanks for being so responsive here to these. Um,
Sure.
Sarah mentions, I think maybe it's like moment of confusion. So she mentions that you mentioned about Eastern Canada, there being most companies are kind of engaged in bartering there, but she puts, but there are no participant companies identified on your website. I think you were just saying there are bartering exchanges for Eastern Canada.
Correct. Yes, correct. Yeah. So, yeah. So, in terms of the barter industry as a whole, I would say the popularity of businesses participating through a barter exchange is more Eastern focused, while it's grown here in Western Canada. And so, we predominantly operate in Calgary. Again, expanded into Edmonton, but my vision, my goal for Exmerce is really to support Alberta-based businesses. So in terms of like, what are our future plans? We don't intend to expand outside of Alberta. I think it's really just supporting and working with Alberta-based businesses. And I think the alternative is we do have partners in other cities across Canada where we can still support.
Perfect. Sarah just kind of asks a follow-up question. She's like, great, thanks. She said there are no businesses listed kind of on the front end of the website. How is how is she how is a potential business to know where the value lies for them? So like, can they have a conversation with you? How will they understand without going through the whole process of signing up of, is it going to be worth me signing up?
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. Number one, I'm happy to have a personal one-to-one conversation with anyone that's interested in exploring Exmerce. Number two, I highly, highly encourage if you're in Calgary or Edmonton to come out to one of our events. So, for example, yesterday we hosted a speed networking event. I believe it was pretty much sold out. So our team had run the event. But one of the things I would like to offer anybody, on this call is a number of things. So I'm happy to offer complimentary tickets to two of our upcoming events in Calgary. That's going to be November 19th. So it's our Fireside Expert event. And that event is we invite expert panelists and they will share their business wisdom to entrepreneurs. So happy to provide complimentary tickets for that. And then also we have our Christmas social mixer on December 3. So happy to extend invites, and that presents an excellent opportunity to connect with Exmerce members and our partners, and to just have a conversation to find out, learn more about Exmerce. Because again, for myself and for my team, what's important for us first is always education. We've been serving the business community here in Calgary for 20 years. And, it's all about, creating that trust, but also at the same time, it's educating to ensure that the program works for you. Additionally, I have a couple of other offers. So if there is interest in Exmerce, I'm happy to extend a trial offer as well. So for the first 3 months, you do not pay the monthly fee. It's only the 8% buy, 8% sell. And then I also have a small gift. of 25 Exmerce dollars so that you can actually experience Exmerce firsthand. Now, it would probably just be like Calgary, Edmonton. And so we have a list of gift certificates that you can choose from. And that would provide you with just a great way to experience Exmerce firsthand because, you know, the barter program is new for a lot of businesses. And again, I myself and my team, we're always here just to educate and just to create more awareness for what we do.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nelson. This is yeah, definitely been some great education and experience, and for many people, an introduction. It's they are unfamiliar with bartering, and it's a great starting point. So thank you for providing the resources, for being really frank and clear with your questions. It's awesome. And can yeah, so sorry, I'm just receiving a message here to ask you, Nelson. So can you please can I access the drawer? Sorry. And my phone's ringing at the same time, which is very, very bad preparation for a webinar. Um, can you please, my message says, can you please ask Nelson how people can access the drawer to get event tickets? Yeah, how do we go about getting event tickets?
Yeah,
Sorry.
for sure. So I think you know, after our call, Matt, Linda, I can send you the offer, and then you guys can send it out to the people attending today. And what I'll do as well is I will provide everyone with guest access to the directory because I'm sure,
Ooh,
you know,
perfect.
a lot of you guys are thinking, okay, you know, this sounds interesting. How would it work for my business? But then the question always becomes, if I were to sell my services, what can I buy?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to provide the directory information. And again, if there's any more like questions, you know, I'm happy to just do like a one-on-one just to share more and just to, you know, see how I can best help support.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear for sure. And that's the kind of theme of the questions is the thing that is clearly people are very interested in getting for sure there. One kind of final question we'll take here. Can you talk about any plans to integrate Exmerce brokering with local economy markets, particularly in Calgary?
Yeah, so one of our big plans for 2026 is we are looking to build our own proprietary barter software. Obviously, the buzz these days is artificial intelligence, but we want to make the Exmerce dollars more tangible. So tangible in the sense of having business owners utilize their phones as a digital wallet, and as the buyer, you could go into a retail location, then tap your phone on the POS, or either through smartphone, like just hovering over the smartphones,
Mhm.
and the transactions, the credits would be transferred, you know, from your account to the seller's account, and vice versa. And so our goal is to then really connect with other local markets to support these small businesses through this alternative currency. Again, the barter currency, like we call it, it's kind of like the community currency for business owners. Again, really to help support them to find ways to save cash or to find ways to attract new customers they otherwise would not have had the opportunity to do business with. So that is one of our plans, is to connect with more local markets. And I mean, if any one of you, you know, on this call today are connected with, you know, local markets, I would love to have a conversation because that is one of the big initiatives we plan on doing for 2026.
That's awesome. Yeah, it does sound like there perhaps are, and I just also want to reach out to you directly, just because I know the questions, if they get a little bit too specific, but they can
Mhm.
reach out into you to a conversation. Thank you so much, Nelson. It's been a real insightful conversation and presentation. We learned lots about kind of bartering and how it can be so useful at generating extra clients and also saving cash. So thank you so much.
Yes, amazing. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Business Link, again for this opportunity. And again, to all of you listening today, I really appreciate the opportunity to share more. And at any point in time, feel free to connect with me, and happy to share more.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nelson. Just a reminder that you can also, everyone here can explore Business Link's free resources, webinar, and kind of most importantly, get the one-to-one support that you need to move forward with your business. We're here to help small businesses start and succeed. And we have a team of small business advisors who are here to work with you one-to-one. So anything that you're hitting a roadblock or you're facing a challenge, our team definitely have that knowledge of where to send you, what to link you to, the resource, the organization that has the help for you. So please reach out to the team. There's a QR code on the screen now to make sure you are signed up for our newsletter so we can drop bi-weekly into your inbox, and you'll know about upcoming webinars. You'll find about latest resources and programs and services that we're offering here at Business Link. I always like to finish this by thanking Linda, who's in the background here and organizes and sets this all up so well, and make sure that we have great speakers like Nelson. So thank you very much to her. And obviously to everyone watching, you are committed to making your business stronger, and improving Alberta for people as well. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day, Nelson.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Bye.